Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the season premiere of Van Helsing. A great season premiere. A lot of stuff went down in this episode, so let's break everything down bit by bit. First of all, I'm going to talk about the fact I feel like the tone to this episode is so different from both seasons. That's crazy. It just had just some of the aesthetics. Like, for example, when it was at Crooked Falls, that scene of just the slow-mo and stuff and everybody fighting, guns, blood everywhere and stuff like that, slicing limbs and stuff like that. It had this musical aspect to it. And it's like, this show's never done that like that. Maybe it kind of has, but never to like an extent like that, because it's almost like this like cool like action movie type of scene. It just caught me off guard. I was like, that just seemed aesthetically different from most aspects of the show, not in a bad way, which is kind of like, holy crap. Like, I feel like this episode was a lot more tongue-in-cheek in certain regards, you know, like especially everything with Vanessa and the elder, because like the elder was like, no, stop hitting me. Oh man, I'm gonna make myself look like Dylan, so you'll stop hitting me. Then tries to look like Scarlet, and then ultimately settles on Susan, which I appreciate it, because it does seem like from now on it's going to look like Susan, just because it's the form that she's most comfortable with. But I'm like, yes, just because it's just like, it's still a little heartbreaking too, because because it's not really Susan, but it's just so interesting that it would take on that form, and just Vanessa being like, leave me alone and shut up. I thought it was pretty neat that basically it can do. I think it's probably like some like consciousness realm or something that the elder sent Vanessa, Scarlet, and her mom, into that world. And I wonder, why does it aesthetically look like that? Who chose that location to look like that? Is it something pulled from Vanessa's mind, Scarlet's mind, or their mom's mind? Or is it just like maybe the elder, much like choosing the way he looks like Susan, maybe chose that place to be like some calming place or something, which is so interesting, considering it's like, yeah, he's under their control, but he's still their enemy, which I like that. It's like you have this super powerful vampire that's on your side that kind of has to serve you. I love that Vanessa was like, no, I'm not going to work with him. Are you out of your mind? But it's like, yeah, he killed Dimitri and he's done some pretty bad bang up jobs, so far. I mean, he tracked you down. I am curious, is that the why things, it seems like that has to be the reason why things change for everyone else. Because for one, everyone's starting to pop up alive and fine. Because the moment Doc was pointing out, it's like, oh, Julius, you healed up. I'm going to flip up like that, because I slept up a lot like that in the past anyway. But Julius healed up quick. I was like, oh, you did that. I was like, what? Do you think it's because of that? I'm guessing because whatever the elder did when he bit Vanessa, it changed something in her DNA. And as we know, all of them are connected, because something in their DNA connects all of them. It connects Vanessa to Scarlet, as well as everyone she's turned back. So any modifications that happen to her DNA kind of have like this science fictional, magical shift in everybody. So we even saw it with Phil literally crawling out of his grave. I was like, what? It's like, this is stupid powerful. It's like they are, because it's so interesting, because it's like as time passes, they're becoming more and more like Vanessa, which I think is going to be incredible. Like, we haven't seen beyond like how much what that really means going forward, whether they become like stupid strong like her, will they eventually feed on human blood like her? Probably not. It's just like they reap the benefits of some of her abilities. They probably get like a fraction of it, kind of trickles down to them. But either way, I think that is amazing. Another favorite scene of mine is the whole Scab and Ivory situation. It's just kind of her being like, no, I'm not going to eat animal. Find me a human. But there's none nearby. Well, find one. And he's screaming, ah, and she's like, rah. And I'm like, that scene was literally like a married couple. That's what I mean. Aesthetically, the tone of this episode was crazy weird just because of that. Because it's like Scab and Ivory were never like that, because it was kind of like a master and servant type of relationship. But now it's like they're arguing like a married couple. It's like, what? What is going on with that? That was literally their only scene in the episode too. And I was like, that's so weird. Vanessa got her revenge against her fake mom, fake Abigail. Turns out that lady's actually the one that made Scarlet and Vanessa the way they are. Because it turns out her and Harrison are just complete and utter assholes. Because it's like, oh, we did what we did just because we could. It's like, oh, me making you the way you are without your mom's permission? Yeah, I did it because I just want to know what happened. Oh, Harrison? Oh, yeah, I made Scarface a vampire who's going around spreading it. So these little things compiling upon each other, because now it's like, Vanessa, I mean, because Scarlett was like, oh, we need to go take care of that situation now. But Axel's like, nah, we're not going to worry about it. It's like, yeah, you can tell that's definitely going to become a problem because he's actively going out of his way to turn other vampires like him. So he's spreading the infection. So soon there's going to be a whole bunch of vampires out there, a lot of ferals out there exactly like him, smarter. Human race is going to be a kind of more up shit's creek in this situation. Also, the whole situation with Eden, that's so sad. I actually forgot home dude's name, where he was like, oh yeah, Vanessa will meet up again. And it's like, that's definitely never going to happen because his neck got snapped by Sam. I was like, I kept thinking, I was like, oh, he's about to die. He's about to die, isn't he? I was like, oh, who's going to come up and just kill him? And I wasn't expecting it to be Sam. Well, Sam and Muhammad. Whatever happened to that? There was a girl he liked too. I'm just assuming they're just going to make it so like technically either she already died off in between season 1 and now, or just like she was one of those people caught up in that old situation. But Sam, we see him trying to turn Muhammad more into him. It's like, oh, let's have a little more fun. So it makes you wonder how much of Muhammad's still kind of in there because he's not going down the same route as Sam is. He's kind of going more instinct. Sam is kind of having more fun because it seems like even when he became a vampire, the thing is Sam maintained a lot of who he was. But, Muhammad seems a lot more feral in this regard. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the long run. He talked, obviously before he died, he wanted to be like, I don't want to become anything like you. Now, I mean, they're kind of all wreaking havoc on their own, but that was like a little tiny window. Like this episode, obviously being the first episode of the season, it's sprinkling in little stuff here and there, kind of setting things in motion. But, yeah, because I love the whole Harrison conversation of like, oh man, yeah, I'm trying to keep him distracted, and everyone's just like, yeah, and going back to it's like, yeah, that man literally crawled out of his grave, and it's kind of sad because Phil gets super pissed at Julius because it's like literally every time I turn around, it's your fault. The reason why I killed my family, you turned me. It's kind of hard to say whether he really is happy about being a human again or not. It's really kind of hard to say because he's the one that sent Flesh there to go after Vanessa. Well, hit the hospital anyway, specifically to go after Vanessa. I don't remember if he knew at the time Vanessa was there. I think it was like after the fact. But nevertheless, plus it's like the only reason why Lucky died in the first place because you ended up bringing those vampires here and everything, and it's just kind of all on you, which is just, it's kind of sucky, but I mean, it is what it is. So, but like I said, going back to that scene of just like everyone in that room, like just that slow motion of just like starting with her, Harrison being like, oh, I know everything about you. It's like, and then she's like, oh yeah, I know everything about you. I was like, right, because the visions, like your mom's visions at the end of season 2's finale, it's like, right, you know how much of a dick Harrison is. So you had even more reason to cut his head off the moment you saw him because it's like, yeah, you're an asshole. And then you even have Axel being like, shit, and just started like firing everything. Also, what the hell is up with Callie? Because even at the end of it all, like she was the one that dealt the final shot to one of the black tip people, and even Axel's like, Jesus kid, you probably will be the one to survive all this. That is the question. I don't think I brought it up at all last season, but it's like at this point, it's like it's a little damn ridiculous that that little kid has made it this far. It's like she's going from one group to another, and it is kind of like even what Doc said last season. They're like, ain't it a little weird that that kid just manages to find group to group, and every group she's a part of ends up dying? It's like, and she just manages to keep going. She's pretty smart, so I'm like, what are they doing with that kid? Is she just some like crazy smart lucky kid, or are they going to do something with that? I feel like that's going to turn into some like, it might not be a big plot point, but it might be a smaller plot point. I don't know what's going to happen in that regard. I'm very interested to see that. Like back and forth between Vanessa and the elder, where she's like, okay, can you explain stuff about this book? And he's like, no, not unless you have to ask for my help nicely. And she's like, please. And he's like, okay. Honestly, I don't know anything about that. She's like, thanks for being useless. I love that. Keeping everyone in the dark about it, too. The only people who get to be in the know about it is Axel and Scarlett, but everyone else is going to Denver because there's the whole potential, like, what's going on down there in Denver, which is interesting, which is going to include Phil, Julius. See, I did it again. It's just, I'm just not used to saying Julius. Julian, yes, but not Julius. It just kind of takes a little while. Doc, Callie, the people from Crooked Falls, and it's like, and Jolene, but it's like, I'm curious, like, I get the feeling we're probably going to bounce between that because I feel like those are some central characters. Those are important characters, especially with Doc, Phil, and Julius having the situation they are, because it's like they might not be a part of the fight, but they're connected to Vanessa, so they're not done with this yet. Maybe, I don't know. And also, Scarlet gave Doc some of the blood from. We can. I mean, I don't know if he goes by the name in this because they refuse to say his name, but what we can assume is Dracula, the first one and everything. And it's like, oh, so she needs to study that just in case anything goes wrong. And they have the last bit of the blood and everything. So it's crazy, dude. All that's kind of set up immediately because now they have to find the other elders and destroy their totems, because each of the totems, if all the pieces to the totem come together, then Dracula, well, the first will be risen again. Which is so interesting because so far our main antagonist hasn't really been set up, because our previous main antagonist, Dimitri, is dead. Like I said, there's Scab and Ivory running around, but I don't know what that's going to be. Then like there's Sam and Muhammad. Like I said, there's a lot of background stuff. You know, it's going to, in some shape or form, flow in that direction. But like I said, it's like we got our main squad of Axel, Vanessa, and Scarlet, and the Elder. I also love when Axel ran up to her and he's like, I missed you. And she's like, I missed you too. And it's just like, oh, this cute adorableness. And it's like, I need you. She's like, oh, I need you too. He's like, oh, no. Well, I need you like that. But there's also this other situation. She's kind of almost like, okay. And it's just like I said, it feels so different. I'm so interested to see if they keep this tone up the rest of the season or not. It might just been like, might be some episodes sprinkled in here and there, but it's just such an interesting approach. Like it was kind of like a fun episode. This show is very depressing and it's just kind of like, just terrible thing after terrible thing. It's like, in all honesty, things kind of were like on the good side of things this episode. So it's kind of like, oh, everything kind of worked out. So it's kind of like, maybe that's something we'll keep up the rest of the season. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting when you think about it. Oh, if you were to think about it as like a video game, it's almost like they're going in boss rush mode, because it's like we got to go after all the other elders, kick some vampire ass along the way and stuff like that. But still, I'm also curious to see what that first blood will ultimately be for. Like, what will that ultimately do? What other stuff and other people are they going to meet along the way? I'm so curious, dude. I have no idea what to expect from this season. I'm also interested how things are going to be between Axel, Vanessa, and Scarlet, considering like the whole like, Axel and Scarlet situation. I mean, like, Vanessa's probably going to be like, wait, you two are okay? Because it's going to be her first instance of finding out about that. So that's definitely going to be interesting. In retrospect, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, the whole situation with Lucky is kind of a heartbreaking situation, because Phil it's like, I'm alive again and she's not. So it's like, yeah, it wasn't all golden. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's like, yeah, that's a pretty big, like, now, kind of a big bummer of a situation, like megaton bummer. What's also interesting too is the whole opening we got in 1986, where we had Scarlet and Vanessa being separate. I even love that they're just there and they're just kind of hitting each other back and forth. And the family's just like, okay, and we're going to take that one. And it's like, it does make you wonder why they specifically chose Scarlet. Maybe it's just like, I think it was like Vanessa hit her first. So it's like, oh, she's not the one that starts stuff, but she will retaliate. Yeah, let's take that one. If I remember correct, I'm pretty sure it was Vanessa that hit first. But nevertheless, it's that whole situation of like, why? Because we still don't know why. Because even last season, Vanessa's mom was like, their mom was like, I don't know why. I always wanted you to be together. So why? I guess it was like, yeah, it's safer because it's like, yeah, you're both two key important aspects to this whole thing. So if we keep you separated, it's like, even if something happens to one, the other one will still be out there. So I guess that's why. I don't know. Because even in the opening, it wasn't even explained. It's just kind of like, oh, we're doing this for your sake. They got distracted, got in a car accident, and died. But then, like, some mysterious cloaked lady came before her and reached out. So it's like, what the hell is that? It's just kind of interesting, like, because it makes you wonder, like, who the hell could that be? Considering the fact is, considering who Vanessa is, maybe that has some ties to. I don't know. I legitimately can't even really fathom what that will turn out to be. Is that like an ancient or like an elder that she met years ago she just doesn't remember? Because we don't really know what. I forgot. I think, didn't Dimitri talk about it in the first season? How the elders were all kind of like, because that elder was the only one that was locked up because the Van Helsing's captured it, but it's like, what about the other elders? Are they just like around the world kicking it? That's also something I'm curious about too. Are we going to go like worldwide? Which would be interesting because like it's something that's talked about. It got brought up last season. It was like, oh yeah, like the rest of the world can't be like that, right? Because we haven't really seen the world, like aside from like where the story has taken us so far, we haven't seen the outside world. Tracking down the elders, they might be scattered across the world, so that might be kind of like an aspect to it. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe they're all kind of, and I don't know. Like I said, I know nothing about this season. I haven't seen any trailers, so I wouldn't even know what to expect. Usually with trailers anyway, it's usually like the first or second episode at most that you would see in a trailer in some regards. So I'm curious to see where all that takes us with this whole elder approach. Like, are some of them sealed away, or are they just all out and about? Because if they are all out and about, then why don't they just come together? So they have to be sealed away somewhere. But his situation was he was sealed away just because his situation. Maybe they're just sleeping. Why are they sleeping? Why didn't they wake up? Well, I'm about to say, why was he the only one woken up by Vanessa? But it's like, well, Vanessa's situation being what it is, it's like, well, her being a Van Helsing and everything, it was enough to wake him up because she was awakening she had awoken as a Van Helsing, but like she really like let loose. So because we know the elder that's with them doesn't have his totem, because apparently before he was sealed away, it was taken from him. So they're just gonna have to track that down separately. I'm curious to see what the totems end up like being. Like, do all the totems, are they the same thing? Like, are they represented by the same thing, or are they a different item for each, elder? Also, we can't be going around calling him the elder forever, considering there's a whole bunch of other elders. So it's kind of like, probably at some point in time, maybe in the nearby future, we'll get a specific name for the elder that's pretending to be Susan, or we'll probably just refer to it as Susan. I don't know. It's either way. Like I said, I am very excited to see what the rest of the season has to start. Like I said, this was a great episode. This was a great way to start the season. So, also, I love that this show does a very interesting thing. Like its season finales to its premieres so far have kept up the record of being like pretty consistent, like pretty back to back. It's kind of interesting. It's because I was rewatching season 2. I'm just going to quickly add this in there. I was so happy because I had forgotten about like the elder coming in and wrecking shop in the lab, and I was like, oh yeah, because when it got to that point with the black tech and the whole like it was episode 10, the whole Vanessa episode when she was like taken away and everything, like where we focus on her side of things, I was like, oh yeah, I felt better about it because I was like, all right, the elder comes in and kills most of you. Turns out, fake Abigail got away, but Vanessa, like, she finished that off quickly, and then Harrison got what he got, but at the same time, it's like, even Vanessa was like, are you sure he's dead? It's like, he has a whole longevity thing, but that doesn't mean he's, invulnerable. He doesn't heal like they do. His aspect is what it is. But obviously, he's still going to be a dick because his scarred up vampire is still running rampage, kind of doing its thing. So, but we'll just have to wait to see what goes down in the next episode. But really, that's all I'm going to talk about. Until the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.